Hey everybody, Dr. Ed here, and we are back with some more Magic Arena. In this case, I did have a request recently for a Selesnya tokens list. Sadly, the commenter never sent me a particular list, so I went out hunting on my own and found one that was on magic.wizards.com, their event coverage for the Mythic Championship. In this case, Amy D'Amico, aka Amy the Amazonian, had a really cool looking Selesnya tokens list. I've been playing this one in ranked a little bit, off camera of course, and it's done pretty well. It's definitely been a nice change of pace, and yeah, we're definitely going to give a quick look through it and see how it runs. One slight alteration I made, and not because I think I know better, because I most likely do not, is instead of having 3 Tristani Discordants, I only currently definitely have 2 of those, and I have 0 Mythic Rare wildcards available, so I just slammed in a Tulsimir. Figured with a weird amount of mono red I've been running into, there's worse things than a couple of 3/3s and a forced fight that something can trade with Chain Whirler and heal me up. So that's in there. Normally it wouldn't be, but c'est la vie. But let's quickly go through what we have access to. Our lands are running a little bit less than usual. In this case, we are running our 7 plains, 5 forests, 4 Petal Grove, a Temple Garden, Spicy Bastion for if we get counters out. The reason we're able to go this low and have this many high cost cards in the form of like Tulsimir, Tristani, Shalai, Ajani, is the fact that we have access to Flower and Flourish, which for the most part we are going to be using the Flower half just to thin out our library a little bit. Fetch whatever land we need, because ideally we are going to be wanting to have double plains on turn 3 potentially for History of Benalia, and double forest later on for Tulsimir, so that helps us with our fixing. Legion's Landing is also fixing in another way. If we attack with 3 or more creatures, you probably know this card at this point, it flips to Adanto the first fort. That's a land. A utility land, mind you, but you know what? If it can get us to the 5 mana we need to slam down a Tristani, which can win the game on our own, all the better for it. Now we're popping some really fun 2-drops. We're running Saproling Migration, pay 2 for 2 1/1 Saprolings, pretty standard, go wide, etc. But it does have the kicker, so late in the game we have a shitload of mana to burn, we top deck this, boom, we whip out 4 of those suckers. Couple Amaras, I found I had pretty good luck with her, assuming she survived a turn. I feel like generally she would just get removed the turn up or the turn after I played her, which, that's fair. She can generate quite a few tokens on her own, and the lifelink is not negligent. Or negligible, whatever. Thorn Lieutenant, in the way the meta is right now, is fantastic. His body's pretty good for a 2-drop, it's 2/3. Whenever an opponent targets it, worst case it's dead. Shit happens, but you get a little 1/1 token after the fact. And if the game goes on dirtling long enough, it can become a big old beater with the pump effect, albeit for 6 mana. History of Benalia, I will be really sad when this card rotates out. I love the art. It's so good. Oh man. Art's fantastic. Create some tokens. All nights you get a bunch of buff on the 3rd lore counter. It's great. Nothing like popping off a Benalia into a Benalia or some other dumb bullshit and just winning the game off that. Shalai is pretty great in the fact that it gives everything hexproof. I haven't seen it too much, but against, let's just say we're dealing with Simic Yoink, or I want to steal your shit and play your cards. Mass Manipulation will only have 1 legal target. It makes it so we can't get burnt to our face, so if we're dealing with mono red burn, they generally have to whip 2 cards at Shalai to get rid of her. It's pretty great. Ajani's fantastic. I feel like the underrated part of him is his passive. Vigilance is so good. We get a good board presence, can keep everything back for blocking, A+. +1, cool, gain 3 life. If you're against a really gross burn deck or something that can save your ass on its own. The down tick, which if he is untouched, can give everything a 1/1 counter, as well as if we were running other walkers, the, cool counter on them, but sadly not so much. But at his worst, he's life gain, vigilance, and our really wide board is going to be doubling in power. Venerated Loxadoodle, it's going to be quite common you see him come out on turn 3, giving your board a pretty beefy buff, as well as being a pretty thick elephant himself. Tristani's great. pretty beefy on her own. Other creatures you control get +1/+1, etc., as well as the token generation. Now, I'm really sad I didn't get this on camera. It's happened a few times in other Selesnya things I've played in the past. I love it when people forget about the end step trigger on her. It feels so good when they steal your shit, or they use an Eldest Reborn to bring her back on their side, and then she just slides on back over to her home. It's A+. And Tolstamir, like I said, he wasn't an inclusion normally, but he is here because I don't have any more Tristanis. He's a 3/3 for 5 that summons a 3/3 legendary wolf token. Whenever a wolf enters the battlefield, sadly, only this one wolf, you can make that fight, gain 3 life, etc., etc. It's pretty solid. Prison Realm, enchantment-based removal with a scry effect, can target creatures and walkers. Relatively versatile. There's definitely some use, especially in a walker-heavy meta. The scry effect isn't negligible either. We can bottom out a land, try to fix our draws, especially if we're in top deck mode. Conclave Tribunal, more of the same with our wide board. This is quite frequently going to be costing us no lands, maybe some tempo if we could have been swinging, but any threat we can't deal with just by swinging through it, we just whip it off the board. Now, Immortal Sun is interesting. We're not really running anything for Planeswalkers, other than the Johnny, which is only a 2 of. We'll still have the passive effect, so we'll still have the Vigilance. We will be shutting him down, but the pump effect on all creatures we control getting +1/+1, very relevant on wide boards. Extra draw, fantastic, cheaper cards, cool, nothing to complain about. And then the fun one, March of the Multitudes. You got a big board, but it's not quite big enough. Instant speed, convoke out a shitload of white soldiers, and with all these pump effects through potentially the Flourish part of Flower and Flourish, or the Shalai +1/+1 from over here with their activated ability for 6 mana, or our Tristani. Wide boards can get weirdly scary in this matchup. Of course, like any token decks, we have our weakness. On-curve Chain Whirler can eat us for breakfast. Board wipes, Cry of the Carnarium, Ritual of Soot, Settle the Wreckage, the works. Oh yeah, and of course we can't forget our spicy Karn's Bastion. We get counters up through Loxodon, through Shalai, any other sources we may have. I think that's all of them currently. Oh, and Johnny. We can just proliferate, get them even bigger. But yeah, this deck tech's gone on long enough, so I figure let's just jump into a few games, see how it goes. Okay, we're in our first game against Just for Fun. See how true that actually is, and what is our curve looking like? Not too bad. We essentially have a 3-lander here with Flower, so we'll have enough to curve comfortably into Venerated Loxodon. So yeah, we're probably going to turn 1 Flower. I think our best bet is just to fetch another planes here, because if we do draw into Benalia, that allows us to play that directly on curve after our migration. Always good to see mono red. You know what? I feel like I haven't been seeing it around too much lately. We do got to get our forest down this turn though. I am, as usual, ready, prepared for this mono red boy to curve very nicely right into a Chain Whirler. Nope. Steamkin's not much better for us though. Steamkin doesn't kill our board, but let's see. This gets us to 4 creatures on the board, which is thankfully perfect. This is the one good thing we have going for us with being on the play, is curving right into a Loxodon gets all of these tokens above the Chain Whirler threshold. And assuming we draw into another land, we will be able to play Tristani Discordant. But our board isn't negligible. Double Steamkin is terrifying, and I think we're going to have to start pressuring that sooner than later. Yeah, I don't care what he does. I need that Steamkin dead. You do you, bud. I'm fine with how this pans out for me. Fantastic. Okay. So we hit that. We can get our Legion's Landing flipped this turn, which I think is pretty relevant. I can't imagine them trading with a token on the Steamkin. So, yeah, pardon me, it seems like I am losing my voice here. Okay, so what are they doing? They are whirling some chains, so we're gonna lose our little Dante token here. No biggie. Something is holding priority. It's a firebrand, huh? Okay. Are they just gonna get rid of one of our... Yeah, they're just gonna get rid of one of our tokens. That's fine. Going to use our Adanto here. But to say, I couldn't imagine them swinging with their Steamkin, to be honest with you. I think this turn is pretty relevant. I'm just gonna get Tristani out here. So we got a bunch of big boys, and I don't want to really attack here because they're just gonna be able to kill 2 of our tokens, and then that's it. We'd get, what, 3 damage after that? Of course, opponent's going to be spending the mana they get from their Steamkin just to chain a few spells together. Light up the stage, and not what I'm too keen on seeing, but thankfully they paid the full cost. And if we do hit another land drop, we can shut down that Chandra. Or they just play Frenzy, which is terrifying. Okay. Okay, opponent. Sadly, yeah, that doesn't hit what we'd want that to hit, huh? I suppose now we are just in the old go wide. I'm never quite sure when to attack here. Right now, I'm leaning on stall tactics until either Benalia triggers or we have Immortal Sun. So ideally, we draw into mana next turn, hit our 6 land drop, and go from there. We could get lucky, opponent could get a little bit screwed on what the Frenzy Gods decide to give him. Oh yeah, and I suppose that the Chandra was exiled, huh? So they will have access to that one. Yeah, I forgot. Assume that was in their hand for some reason.
You wanna go, tough guy? Let's light it up!
Okay, so yeah, ideally we draw into Immortal Sun, man. Jesus Christ, their board got wide real fast. What do you got? You gonna lightning something? That's fine. I'm not too keen on it, but it's fine. And then they have Steamkin, which they can do Steamkin things with now if they chose. Hoping... Okay, perfect. That could have been worse for us, because they would have had Bolt into Chain Whirler, which could have dealt with Tristani. And she is kind of key to keeping us alive, not to say everything's looking all that good for me right now, but let's see. All of our life gain tokens would die, so we can do this. I hate to lose some of our board presence here, but okay, perfect. So that gets me the land drop I need, which is pretty rad. Gets us our second forest as well. And then we can Prison Realm, get rid of Chandra, because I don't want them having Chandra and Frenzy. That's bad enough as is. Okay, this is going to be
that was a disaster.
An interesting couple of turns, assuming we stay alive here. Because we will be able to play Immortal Sun, followed by a decently sized March of the Multitudes if the game goes on that far. We should be concerned. They're looking at Tristani. They might have enough removal between the top of their library and what's in hand, plus whatever Steamkin shenanigans Steamkin can do. Spends its mana, gets the G2 out. These aren't negligible here. This is 6 life on the board for us. Ah, fuck. They can get rid of Tristani. They can Wizard's Lightning, Steamkin, Lightning Strike. Yeah, we're just trading one pump effect for another one here. Didn't do it. Well, they can still do instant speed. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Whew. Still a little concerned here, but Immortal Sun can definitely draw us into gas here. Oh, they're going for my face. Interesting. Okay. And this march of this turn would be very anticlimactic. Are you going to get rid of your frenzy? Are you going to bolt my face? Okay. I'm not sure if I agree with this line of play necessarily, but my health is definitely getting low. And they have a full turn to draw a shitload of burn. Firebrand doing Firebrand things. They have more than enough mana to sack Frenzy if they have some crazy shit in hand. Yoshino, not gonna lie, would love to have drawn, forgetting her name, Shalai this game. That would have been pretty cool. She could have eaten some burn for us. Yeah, I think I'm stuck marching this turn, huh? We'll see. What do we draw into? Another Tristani. Not something I'm super happy to see. Shalai is relevant. Stops our face from getting burnt. I feel like the instant speed march might save us. Let's see, we can still get a decent enough march by swinging these in. Chances are they're just going to... Oh god, this feels so bad, especially if they draw burn. Let's see here. Shalai leaves us with 3 mana and whatever's on board for March. Let's see. If they have burn, we're forcing them to spend it right now. Okay, Shalai's big on her own. Yeah, this is going to be a smidgen greedy, but let's see. God, I resolved Frenzy. This sucks, man. Hit their land drop. Did we get lucky? Do they just have another land hiding on top? Okay, they're breaking Frenzy. They still have access to a shitload of mana. I'm assuming all of this is burn. Or another Frenzy for later in there on top of some burn. Lighting up the stage. They have a shock, okay. Shalai does have 6 toughness here. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm assuming our red opponent is hopefully misplaying this more than I am. No guarantees, of course, but having a hexproof board and a metric shit ton of lifelinkers next turn will be good. They're doing nothing, so we have 3, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can make 6 3/3 tokens here, essentially. Wait for it. Does opponent scoop? Hit our land drop. Oh, and we have the Shalai pump. Oh god, that is filthy. Oh, vigilance. Oh, daddy likes this. Oh god.
You realize I do not stand
have Immortal Sun.
alone.
I'm an idiot. We still have vigilance though. Okay, how do I want to go about doing this? I think we can just... We're not swinging with Tristani. Because I'm an idiot. I mean, this is why we did it. We just wanted the vigilance here, fam. That's it. That's all we wanted. We are life-linking for... You have lifelink, right? For potentially 27, minus 6 because of the first strike on the train. Train? The train whirlers, yeah, that's it. So let's see. Opponent's doing the math, seeing how this is going to pan out for him. I will look at my Ajani and look at my Immortal Sun and be a little bit sad. But yeah, we're doing it for the vigilance. Now we just gotta wait patiently. I would recline, but then I feel like it would sound like I am talking across the room for you guys. Now we gotta think. What is the sequencing here for our mono-red opponent? The board is wide, and the board is swole. I'm just gonna hit the space bar here. First strike damage, we have to let that go through. Anytime, buddy. I have faith in you. I have faith in you just for fun. Are we getting roped? Okay, no, you're just slow playing it. Okay, that's fine. There go the damage, man. Let's just go through damage. Hey, we recovered all of our HP and then some. We killed the filthy mono-red menace. And we won. That weird, dirtily game that I don't think I should have won whatsoever. But we did. And in the grand scheme of things, that's all that counts. And, you know, I'm lazy. Y'all are going to be suffering on this loading screen with me. It's been pretty late night playing Magic Arena. Pushing 3 a.m. queue times. Often longer than 45 seconds. I know, God forbid. Looked at the state of the beta yesterday to date this for you. Seeing a battle pass for Arena is a little weird, but I'm kind of into it. I'm a little bit bummed out we're not going to be getting the old sets in immediately for the historic format, and I don't think this hand's good. Yeah, we don't have any action, really. At the very least here. We have Saproling Migration, we have Thorn Lieutenant. As they say, we have options. So the plane's down. Assuming we get a third land. Drawn 2. Really? You mono-redding me again? Lord Martin? You holding that shock mana up, bud? Friend? Pal? Amigo? Champ? Boy? Well, I'm gonna clap back with this. Shock bat. No, I insist. Shock bat. Do it. Give me a 1/1 for no reason. Shock my face. Okay, so yeah. At this point, we haven't hit our third land drop. If we miss it, it's not the end of the world. In this case, we are still going to be doing the same pattern we would have been. Sadly, I'm a little bit concerned of Loxodon. It could have been a reason for us to play the Saprolings instead, but there's a decent chance opponent would have just shocked one just out of fear of the Loxodon. Do they have the turn 3 Chain Whirler? The Whirly Boy. They don't have it. I don't understand. They always have the Whirly Boy. Wizard's Lightning? That's fine, I got a 1/1 out of the deal. Am I happy about it? No. Am I okay with it? Yeah, that's fine, I suppose, yeah. You know what, I can deal, it's fine, we're good. We're golden. God, what's up with these mono-red boys thinking so long and hard today? Come on, bud, just give me the good old boot. There we go. You have your red card draw. You light up the stop. Perfect. It's good to see. I'm so glad you drew into that. I really hope you don't have a 4th land, buddy. Because I don't have an answer for Frenzy currently. Buddy's trying. That's a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah. That's a problem here real quick. I'm just gonna dip out because I don't see us coming back. I'll just cut to the next real game. Yeah, that one. Okay, so we're up against Rythos. See a Jaya. We're 1-1 against the mono-red aggro. Is Jaya? Is Rythos here going to make us play another mono-red game? Good news. If we hit our land drop, we have a nice quiet curve right into Banana. That's a swamp. Oh, perfect. We can even just get a second Temple Garden down. Halfway through our painful ouch land. Okay, we're looking at the very least, a Rakdos list. They potentially... Ew. They potentially have removal for a Benalia in hand for our 2/2 token. I'm hoping they don't, just so we can stop the warpath that this Dreadhorde Butcher is going to be on. Could be a shock, could be the Angry Minotaur Dad Sacrifice a Boy. A lot of cards he could be playing that kind of really suck for me to deal with. It's targeting it. Oh, Bedeck. Gross. Okay. Come on, buddy. Hit me again. Are you gonna win this with just this Butcher? Probably. But at the very least, we are generating another token. So we can double block if need be. I really don't like it. It's not good value for us, because double block here, he's either going to hit us in the face, clear the other token. Yeah, we are forced to deal with this Butcher here. Well, that's not good. At least it didn't get another counter, so our hard cat... Oh my lord. Oh dear god. I mean, this has been a nice curve though, right? This has been nice. We do this, we have not enough mana for my Loxodon. We do this, yeah, okay. I think this is the play. It big, they big enough. Alright. And we have another Benalia. I think we're pulling this one back potentially. What does opponent have? Legion Warboss, that's fine. Like I said, everything is a-okay right now, guys. We're gonna double block this with our life linkers, getting HP back, which is always good to see. Don't quite have Immortal Sun mana, which is fine. That's okay. We're gonna get another token out, guys. We're good. This is okay. Oh, we won. We turned it around. I don't know if a Legion Warboss into Lifelink was a good call. I mean, I know they're running an aggro list, but when they are forced to attack, and I have the potential to get a shitload of 1/1 tokens out that are, in fact, 2/2 tokens, and I can just multi-block, I don't think opponent was on the right call with that one there, but yeah. I'm going to jump into one more game. I'm tired, but no, I've really been enjoying this deck so far. Okay, we're up against, in our last game, Pikachu Double. Let's see if we can win this one. So we have Benalia on curve, which is decent. We have 4 mana, so we can generally Benalia, Shalai, potentially Tristani. It seems a little bit slow, but play it by ear, see what we can get. I'm just going to get this in now when it doesn't hurt me. Reveal our nice, pretty Temple Garden. And it looks like we might be up against the whitest of weenies, which is fine. If they want to throw their body against my little sapperlings here, I'm okay with that. Anything to stop the Legion's landing flip early is good. What do you got, bud? Another Plains. Good. A Tithe Taker. I actually haven't been seeing that card around at all whatsoever. Another land. Curving nice and neatly into our Benalia. We can wait. Sing Shalai is cool. Hellish Marshal, you know what? That's a card I don't have, man. I don't have that card. Kind of okay doing this. Removing the little dinky life-linking token now stops them from flipping Legion's Landing the next turn, because if we just killed Tithe Taker, they would have had a token available this coming run. So let's see. What do I find more valuable here? Is it more important for me to guarantee my land drop next turn? Yeah, probably. I really want to hit Tristani. Let's just get another plains out here. Yeah, we could potentially march for 2. That's an option for us. It would be a march for 1. I forgot about the tithe taker. Annoying bullshit there. What's up, buddy? What you thinking about? Yeah, that's a vanguard, okay. Nice. Get your +1 in your life. Nice, nice. I don't want to gut our board, to be quite honest. Because now our board, real scary. Get very scary. Because these boys are going to have vigilance. They can win in a straight up fight with the Banalish. And trade successfully. They gotta stand back and they can chump them later. Well, not chump. Pull on this trade with the fella next turn. I'm curious how important it is for opponent to flip his Legion's landing. Yeah, he's Azorius. My mistake. Now what do you have, buddy? Aw, man. Tribunal? That's not cool. That's not very cool, man. Batristani. You will be missed, gone but never forgotten. It was into a bit of a different predicament. I don't see them swinging in with a Banalish here. I have to guess probably just the tithe taker if they do. Get rid of their way to flip Legion's Landing. I don't know why I always call that one Adanto. I know it turns into an Adanto Fort or something of the sort. But... okay, we're going to be getting options at some point here. The board is getting full. Opponent seems like he is potentially flooding out. I say as I have 6 lands. He's getting another Legion's Landing out, which is, you know, solid choice for opponent. We are kind of getting tickled down by this tithe taker. And a Loxadoodle. Is this worth marching? Yeah, probably just to get counters on our boys. Pass and combat. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only going to be a Loxodon for 2, which is a bummer. We have our own Loxodon available though, which is pretty fun. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gives everything on the board a counter, and then we have Karn's Bastion for proliferate on future turns. I don't hate that line of play. I think I'm currently okay swinging in with Shalai for now. Ooh, how greedy do I want to be? Because I can get the Venerated Loxodon out. He's big. He blocks everything but their Loxodon, and we have a shitload of 2/2s. Maybe less than a shitload. Oh, this is going to be a big mistake. We're going to actually pay some regular mana for that. Okay, so we are potentially going to have to chump, but our follow-up after this turn can be pretty crazy here. Assuming we don't outright die. That is an assumption I am making here. Because all of our 3/3s on the ground, yeah, I think opponents realize that too. They're flipping their Adanto right now. Assuming we live, we have to block out what is causing the most amount of damage here. Gonna be getting some life link off of our soldiers here. Flipping the first fort. Fair enough, buddy. Heal up a little bit, which is relevant. And he scoops. Yeah, we would have been able to either... potentially both. We have both. What do we have? Not enough for both, but we have access to proliferate. They did have removal and like, oh, looks like Davies rolled over. That's nice. Okay, cool. Our wins. Nice. Reroll this real quick. Where was I? Ooh, nice, 750. Yeah, deck is cool. I really like Token List. I'm surprised I haven't really played any on the channel, I think. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Definitely check out Amy the Amazonian. I think she's bigger on Twitch than she is on YouTube, so I'll put a link to her Twitch channel there. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Like it if you liked it. Dislike if you didn't. Comment. Definitely put some recommendations in chat, because I'm boring with no personality and will do what you tell me to, essentially. But yeah, I'm Dr. Rhett. Catch y'all next time. Bye for now, everybody.